Why don't we stand on this one? This is a nice fast one.
Yeah, next hour of sleep you should be all set.
I start my day with love. When I start my day with love, that's what I get more of is love.
Yeah, sorry. Okay. Sorry. I'm still not getting it. No, I know. Okay.
Get this guitar player going here.
The next hour got to me.
I start my day with love. When I start my day with love, that's what I get more of is love. I start my day with love. When I start my day with love, that's what I get more of is love. Love, love, love. Love, love, love. I start my day with peace. When I start my day with peace, I feel that sweet release of peace. I start my day with peace. When I start my day with peace, I feel that sweet release of peace. Peace, peace, peace. Peace, peace, peace. I start my day with joy. When I start my day with joy, everything I do is infused with joy. I start my day with joy. When I start my day with joy, everything I do is infused with joy. Joy, joy, joy. Joy, joy, joy. I start my day with love. When I start my day with love, that's what I get more of is love.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Welcome. All right. Get comfortable in your seats. Once again, welcome to the group that remember to fall back. Hopefully some more people will start to trickle in soon. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Ooh. Wonderful. Yes. Nora, could you put on one of the chaplain stoles, please? Thank you. We have both Nora and Candace available as chaplains today. And so if you would like to have some prayer support after the service, they'll be available in our prayer chapel. And we appreciate their presence. We also appreciate our musicians today, Sally and Jamie McAllister. Boy, I don't know about you, but Monday through Friday, it's like I'm on a race, right? I'm on a race, and I'm running through my week, and I'm getting work done, and I'm getting this done, and I'm getting that done. And I get to the weekend, and then it's like, oh, I have all these errands to do so that I'm ready for Monday morning, right? So then the weekend becomes, and then Sunday morning comes, and it's like, oh, I get to go to church. I get to see my church friends. So it's a wonderful time, isn't it? Well, good morning, everybody. Is there anybody here for the very first time? No, we're all returnees? Okay, so remember the red heart welcome. It's the way we remember our Christ presence within and to share our heart with everyone as we come and go and come and go and go and come. Good morning, everybody. All right, another song, please.
In this moment, in this place, I remember who I am. You all know this. Letting fear and worry fall away from me. I open my eyes and see there is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets us free. There is only love. When I lose myself, when it seems I've lost my way, when I go inside and quiet my mind, I can hear Spirit gently say, there is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets us free. There is only love.
Thank you, Sally and Jamie. So nice to have that lovely music. Say, how many people got to enjoy Mark Stanton Welch last Sunday? Wasn't it great to have him here? It was great. Terrific. Okay. A few announcements. I'm just going to hit the highlights because they're listed in your program. But, of course, on Wednesday evenings, there's the Course in Miracles study group at 7 p.m., and that's an open study group. Everybody's welcome. On Thursday evenings, there's the Quest class that begins at 7:30 p.m. The Prosperity class also happens on Thursdays and begins at 6 p.m. And there's going to be Prosperity continuing first Thursday of the month at 6 p.m. I guess that's part of the Prosperity class? Oh, okay. Yeah. So, and there's some other announcements coming up here. I'm going to step aside for a moment. Rosella has some announcements she'd like to make.
This year we are not going to have the, do I have a mic?
This year we're not going to have a Christmas Eve service, but we are going to have a Christmas service, a candlelight service that's going to be on the 18th. And it's called The Spirit of Christmas, and we have a special surprise for that night for all of us. It's going to be a great night. So just know that if you are wanting this Christmas Eve service, what you can do is you can go on the website with your family and friends, and you can rewatch the Christmas program, okay? And we're doing this because some people can't come. I think this is too loud, Mark. Yeah. Some people can't come on Christmas Eve, so we're going to try to do it this way and see what happens. So, also, I thought for the month of November, it would be great for us to all bring something for Food for Life. So instead of one person taking the bag home, if every week you would just bring one thing that you can stick in the basket. What I did, I had a whole bunch of these little travel things, you know, shampoos, conditioners, toothpaste, all that stuff, toothbrush, and I just made little bags up and stuck them back there so they can give them out that way. Also, I got a call from a woman this week from Ohio. Her name is Margaret. She said that her daughter went to this church, and her daughter's name was Donna Marcel Reinstorm. Does anyone know her, remember her? She made her transition, and she was 50 years old, and so her mom wanted us to know, and she thanked the church for loving her. So I didn't know her. It was evidently quite a while ago that she came, so you know, doesn't matter. we bless her on her way, and especially her mom, and hold her right now in our hearts and minds, because she was struggling with this thing. So Thanksgiving, we have the sign-up sheet still for Thanksgiving back there in the back in the fellowship area. If you please sign up for it and what you're going to bring, then we'll know how many tables we need to set up. And yeah, be sure and put how many people too, because we'll know how many places we need to set. Okay, thanks.
Wonderful, wonderful. And again, thank you all for being here this morning. So it's time for our invocation of faith. It's on the screen. Together, please. There is one presence and one power active in the universe and in my life. God, the good omnipotence. Okay, we're going to have a time of meeting and greeting. Remember, we do have fellowship time following the service, so we're going to keep this brief, okay? But we're going to give handshakes and hugs. If you don't want to be hugged, shove out your hand real quick, because we tend to be a hugging church. So let's say hello to each other. Good morning.
I'm blessed. Okay.
Debbie said it's time to sit down. I'm going to wait till you all sit down, because this is a very lovely song. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. One more time. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed.
That is a perfect song and perfect words for me when I go into the daily word today. Actually, Tuesday, November 2nd, was my mom's birthday, and I always honor her on her birthday, with loving thoughts. But this week, each day, Spirit, isn't that still small voice? It was getting louder and louder each week as I was reading the daily word. He's on the phone too, and I got to realizing it was shouting at me by yesterday. And so today's daily word is mentors, which is beautiful, but I am going to read yesterday's daily word because it built for me, this beloved November, election time and all, but anyway, words with, I am one with the source of all, was on Mom's birthday. And then abundant living is my birthright. I claim it now, the next day. And then a voice got louder, even though it says, in the stillness I listen. In the stillness God answers. But yesterday, this is the one I'm reading yesterday's because it was so meaningful to me. It's believe. As I believe, so I receive. Spiritual truth exists, whether or not I believe in it. Divine love is present, whether or not I trust in it. Universal intelligence is available, whether or not I rely on it. While I am grateful that Spirit is eternal and changeless, I recognize that my capacity to fully receive Spirit's bounty hinges on my faith. If on reflection I find that challenging times have clouded my belief in Spirit, I simply correct my thinking. I renew my belief in the eternal reality of spiritual abundance. I accept that God's bounty and grace are meant for all, including me. I regain trust in my ability to freely give and freely receive. I align myself with divine mind, and truth flows readily into my awareness, clearing the way for greater good. From John 12, verse 46, I have come, this is Jesus, and I just love this. I have come as light into the world, so that everyone who believes in me should not remain in the darkness. So today, as I believe, so I receive. Just get your own daily word out and find out what it says for today about mentors.
This is another one of the really lovely ones by Karen Drucker that we do a lot. And we just keep repeating it because it's just so lovely. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of love. I hold you in my heart. You are my family. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of love. I hold you in my heart. You are my family. You are the face of God.
I love Karen Drucker's music. It's so intimate. And so we light this candle, this light representing that eternal light and life that is within us. And we know that we are never separate from that light and that life. So I just invite you to take a deep breath and close your eyes to the outside world, open your eyes to the inside world. And to know the truth of your being. That you are never separate from this light, from this life, this divine eternal life and light. And we know that this life and that we call God or we call goodness is not just within our minds, it's within every single cell, every single atom of our being. It is beingness itself. Charles Fillmore's words so resonate. We are now in the presence of pure being, enveloped in light and love and wisdom. So I invite you to hold that in your heart and to know the truth of that statement. That right now you are being wombed in wholeness, in love, in abundance. It surrounds you and it indwells you. And it is good. I am now in the presence of pure being. Fully enveloped in love. Fully immersed in wisdom. And I accept it as my own. Just sit there for a while in the silence and just feel that. Now let your heart be filled with gratitude. Thank you. Thank you, God. Beloved, holy, holy presence, thank you for your presence within me. And so it is. Amen.
Okay. Okay, this song I did a couple months ago. I like to think of this as God talking to us. God talking to this person. Good night, good night. Look, that moon shines so bright, and tonight it smiles, especially for you. Sleep tight, sleep tight. Know everything is alright. In the morning when you wake up, I will be right here. Sleep tight, sleep tight. Know everything's alright. And in the morning when you wake up, I will still be here. Tonight I will be there, watching over you. Sweet dreams, sweet dreams. It is never as real as it seems. And in the morning when you wake up, I will be right here. Sleep on, sleep on. For no matter how long it may seem that your night is, I will still be right here. Be still, be still. But know that I always will be here watching, watching, watching over you. For tonight and forever, I'll be watching you. So sleep, little darling, sleep on through. For I will be watching, watching over you.
Who wrote that song, Jamie?
Great Lake, Bremerton.
Oh, beautiful. Oh, that makes it really special too, doesn't it? So here we are in Faith in Action. We have one more week to go. Next Sunday is our last week, and we've had an exciting Faith in Action. We're going to end it with Deb Thibodeau is coming back, and she's still in ministerial school and doing really well, loving the program. And Leo Brody is going to be our musician, and Leo shared something with me that I didn't know. He's actually in his second year of practitioners school for religious science. So yeah, so we'll have both of them next week, which is going to be really great to end our day. So this is Veterans Day weekend. Is there anyone in here that is a veteran? Anyone in here that has served? Would you please stand? Please stand, and let's acknowledge them and thank them. We thank you so much for your sacrifice and your service. Amazing. So we have been walking our talk. That's what Faith in Action is all about, and it's about stepping deeper into truth. And truth that we're talking about is capital T truth. We all have our own truth, don't we? But that's not the truth I'm talking about. It's the capital T truth that I'm talking about. And sometimes that capital T truth kind of rubs you the wrong way, doesn't it? And it gets in the way of your small t truth and pushes you around a little bit. So if you have some beliefs perhaps and need a little reminder of truth, that's what we're going to be talking about. We're going to be talking turkey. How's that? We're going to be talking turkey this month. And really getting into truth principles. Excuse me. So the inspiration for this series came from Emmett Fox. Emmett Fox, and he was very much a principal leader in this movement. People that are in recovery are really know Emmett Fox from his Sermon on the Mount. That is one of the wonderful books for all of us, really, but especially for people in recovery. He says this: the truth movement is the only thing that can save the world from its ills. Everything else has already been tried. And I was really thinking about that and thinking about how, what we're talking about here is truth is always, a capital T truth is always an inside job. And it's the lasting one. It stands. Where, and this is the truth that he's talking about, where the other truth that continues to change is that outside in truth. That outside in truth. So it's always going to change because we're changing all the time, aren't we? And the world is changing all the time. Ernest Holmes said in the Science of Mind textbook, we cannot see reality until our eyes are open, until the light of eternal truth has struck deeply into our souls. And you probably all can remember that moment that all of a sudden you remembered. Or something in you probably were going through some kind of a dark night of the soul. When you remember truth, when you were cut open maybe, broken open. How many of you have read that book, Broken Open? Yeah, Susan, it's a great book. Francis Bacon said, no pleasure is comparable to standing upon the vantage ground of truth. No pleasure is comparable. So universal truth, spiritual truth, capital T truth, whatever you're talking about, as we continue through this faith in action, we are going to focus on these spiritual truths. So the truth principle that I want to focus on this morning is a simple one, and that is God knows. God knows. Now, we have heard that, we probably used it. And other small t truth ways, maybe, like with irritation or frustration when we throw our hands in the air and say, God knows. Have you ever done that? Yeah. That's not what I'm talking about today. I'm talking about the capital T truth where God knows. Or God knows. When we're in that place of faith, when we're in that place of faith and we really know that God does know. So I always, when I'm preparing for this, I'm always thinking on two tracks. When I'm experiencing something, I'm experiencing it from myself, but I'm also experiencing it from how it can work in a sermon. And the other day I was listening to Daniel Nahmod again. Anyone listen to Daniel Nahmod? He has a wonderful, he's wonderful, and he has a wonderful CD out called One Power. Call it Buddha, call it Jesus, call it something, call it Lord, Baha'u'llah, Heaven's Gates, whatever you call it, it's one power all the same. It's a powerful song. But he also wrote another song, and I want to pull from it, the words from it, because it really puts a different spin on the simple phrase, God knows. When things go wrong, it's natural to wonder, what celestial rule did I break? When things go right, it's logical to ponder, what credit can I take? But the truth is so much easier. I don't need a master plan. I can live here in the moment because my life is in good hands. I don't need to know where the times goes because God knows. I don't need to know what the future holds because God knows. I need never know how pain ends, how my heart mends. I can just let go because God knows. And the second verse is really powerful for me. But still I find I'm crying out for answers. Guess I'm still craving control. And still I find I'm afraid of taking chances as if I could damage my soul. But at this moment, I remember, it comes so clear to me that the moment I surrender, I'm as safe as I can be. I don't need to know where the time goes because God knows. I don't need to know what the future holds because God knows. I don't need to know how pain ends, how my heart mends. I can just let go. I can just let go. I can just let go. Because God knows. Because God knows. So that's what, it's all about that surrender. And don't we all have those moments in our lives when we meet the floor? Where we have to surrender. Where we have to surrender. Where we've been in the struggle for too long. Where we may have thought that we knew how it should work out. And we finally have to let go and realize there's a greater plan here at work than what I know. So instead of a statement crying out in despair, God knows can be a statement of complete and holy surrender. A complete and holy surrender. Surrendering to that divine presence of all. Surrendering to the life, all energy, that pure intelligence, that pure possibility of infinite, and living in infinite possibilities. Living in infinite possibilities. I once heard the spiritual practice of surrender defined as this: having a belief that as deeply as you are willing to let go, Spirit is willing to fill you up. Having a belief that as deeply as you are willing to let go, Spirit is willing to fill you up. Now, how do we know that if we've mastered that practice? Hold your breath. Take a breath and see what you feel. See what happens. See if you panic and feel like, I'm not going to be able to breathe again. Because we do that in life all the time. We hold our breath all the time. We hold our breath all the time. Do you have the kind of certainty that as deeply as you are willing to let go, Spirit is willing to fill you up? Spirit is willing to fill you up. When we move into the place of God knows, surrender, we move into that place of grace. We move into the place of grace. New Thought tells us this about grace. Grace is the logical result of the correct acceptance of life and a correct relationship to Spirit. I love that. The correct acceptance of life. So, a correct acceptance of life equals universe is for us always. How many of you read that book, The Eye of the Storm, Gary Simmons? In the book, he talks about, good for you, Justin, he talks about that no one or nothing in the universe is against you. No one or nothing in the universe is against you. Yeah. So, grace is a logical result of the correct acceptance of life and of a correct relationship to Spirit. And a correct relationship to Spirit equals the awareness that something is so vast, something that is beyond our five-sense reality, that we can't really comprehend it working through us as us. That we really can't comprehend that. How many of you have had a hard time talking about that to other people, defining that? Yeah, it's hard to really get hold of, isn't it? Because it is so vast, it is so big. And I think that that's why sometimes it's hard for us to have that personal journey. But when we surrender to it, we will have moments of what we call grace. We will have moments of what we call grace. The key, of course, is that in the hour we must surrender. In that hour, we must surrender. We must surrender. We must let go. We must let go. New Thought says, turning to the one with a complete abandonment and an absolute trust, we will find that we are already saved, already healed, and already prospered. Wow. So this is capital T truth. This is capital T truth, and I think that sometimes it's really hard for us to take it in and to really get hold of it because it seems so impossible. Because most of us are having these outside-in experiences, where we believe everything because of what the world is showing me, or we believe everything that we're seeing. But what this is talking about is what's happening in me. The capital T truth. What's happening? What's the possibilities that could happen? The God presence within me. There's a wonderful poem, Let Go, Let God. I'm sure you've all heard it. Loretta Burns. As children bring their broken toys with tears for us to mend, I brought my broken dreams to God because God was my friend. But then instead of leaving him in peace to work alone, I hung around and tried to help with ways that were my own. At last, I snatched them back and cried, "How can you be so slow?" "My child," God said, "what could I do? You never let them go." Yeah. We do that. We often hold on, don't we? Because it's not happening fast enough. This is talking about moving beyond our five sense reality. The capital T truth. So oftentimes we forget to rely on and express that divine power that never forsakes us. And that seems like a big sentence, doesn't it? A big phrase, that never forsakes us. Really? What does that really mean? If we're living from the outside in, it's hard for us to grasp that never forsakes us, that it really is always there. But that is the truth, the capital T truth, that God is always present, and that God is a presence and a power that Charles Fillmore was talking about, that we're immersed in all the time, that we live and move and have our being. It is a wisdom that is around us at all times. We can train ourselves to rely on this through practice. We can yield our faith to God and then let it be developed until it lifts our consciousness to new heights, where the work of God then is revealed. So having faith in and believing in, even when we can't see the physical evidence of this invisible good. That's what the first principle is talking about, that we read, that we say every Sunday together. There's one presence and one power in the universe. God the good, even when we can't see it. It's there. We know it's there. The work of silent unity. To sit in the prayer room and to pray with people, and to hold the faith, to hold the truth, the capital truth, that God is present everywhere. And even in the situation that sounds horrendous, God is present there. To be able to hold that with faith in those moments. It's capital T truth. Eric Butterworth once wrote, "When we actually believe that God is the only real power in our lives, we shall act accordingly and form wonderful new mental habits. Less and less shall we allow ourselves to be swayed by distressing mortal influences. Our inner attention will be turned more to the omnipresent divine good that is rightfully ours. We shall become more confident happy and expectant. We shall ask for and expect peace where there is discord, health where there is disease, ability where there is inability, love where there is hate, joy where there is sorrow, guidance where there is question, knowledge and provision where there is lack, and a job to meet our requirements and skills. So stop trying to make it happen and let it happen. Stop trying to make money and let substance flow. Stop trying to make a demonstration of health and let life have its way in you. Let there be. It's a prayer that never fails. Let your prayer and meditation become a ceaseless, persistent effort to let go of the effort. To let go of the effort. I love that. Here's a story that is an Eric Butterworth story that demonstrates that. A few years ago, he was flying from the West, and the flight to which he was being transferred in Chicago was suddenly canceled. And in fact, 2 other flights to Chicago were also canceled. Hundreds of people milled about the airport in anger and confusion. He was even somewhat frustrated because he really needed to get to Chicago. In his frustration, he remembered a statement of Edwin Markham that had often helped him. When you are the hammer, strike. When you are the anvil, bear. In other words, if there is something you can do it with your being. But if there is nothing you can do, relax and just let it happen. So realizing that for the moment there was absolutely nothing he could do, he sat quietly in his turbulent room. He became aware of another man who stood out because he was the only other person who was not arguing and squabbling with the airline people. Butterworth went over and sat by him, striking up a conversation, and asked him how he could be so serene and so calm. He said, "Oh, I haven't always been this way. But you see, I spent a year in a sanitarium, and I had much time to think things out. It was a great growth experience, during which I made a covenant with the flow of life within me. And I learned that the goal in life is to let God express at all times, regardless of circumstances. And I have resolved never to let things that happen around me or to me overshadow the dynamic presence of God within me. I found that outer things always come to pass, but the inner power goes on forever." And so the 2 of them sat having a calm and peaceful conversation. The interesting thing is that an announcement from the airline said that they had decided to do the fair thing, that they had 3 flights of people to get onto one plane, and so only 1/3 of the people could be taken. And they were going to draw lots fairly and take the passengers impartially as selected. After all the pressuring and demanding and even threatening of most of the passengers, Butterworth's quiet friend was the first called, and Butterworth was the second. It was a great lesson in letting go and letting God. So what we're talking about is that divine surrender. Divine surrender. When to let go and to let God. I just invite you, I'm going to take you through a meditation, and I would invite you just to close your eyes and to take this in. Just have this image in your mind. Take a breath first and just breathe. And I want you to find yourself in the middle of a jungle. Find yourself in the middle of a jungle. And imagine that you are there, and there are monkeys all around you. And you're watching how the scientists have learned how to catch a monkey. And you see them holding small jars with narrow necks. And they fill the jars with handfuls of nuts. And you see the monkeys putting their hands into the jars, and they clench with their fists, and they cannot pull their hands out of the jar. The jars are tethered down. Now know in your heart, all that monkey need do is let go. Everything that that monkey needs is right there for him or her in the jungle. All the fruits and nuts and berries that that monkey would ever want is right there. All they have to do is let go. And the same is true for us. All we have to do is let go. Take a deep breath. Thank you, God, for we know that you know. God knows. And so it is. Amen.
This is the song, The Rose. Some say love, it is a river that drowns the tender reed. Some say love, it is a razor that leaves your soul to bleed. Some say love, it is a hunger and endless aching need. I say love, it is a flower, and you, its only seed. It's the heart afraid of breaking that never learns to dance. It's the dream afraid of waking that never takes a chance. It's the one who won't be taken, who cannot seem to give, and the soul afraid of dying that never learns to live. When the night has been too lonely and the road has been too long, and you think that love is only for the lucky and the strong, just remember in the winter, far beneath the bitter snows, lies the sea that with the sun sun's love in the spring becomes a rose.
Thank you. Gorgeous. It is time for our offertory. Sally, you want to come back up?
Yes.
So we're going to continue the song that we were singing, I Am So Blessed. So this is going to be something that we're going to do now each week. At this time, as you are making out your gift or holding your gift in your hand, I want you to bless it yourself. And then afterwards, the board member of the week, as well as the chaplains, are going to come up and we'll say the consecration together. So Sally's going to lead us in I Am So Blessed. So really just bless this yourself. Put the blessings in it.
I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed.
You can come up and light candles and burn if you want to now
I'm
too.
so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed.
Will the chaplains please come up? Can you come up, Candace? Is that hard? So why don't you guys move out so they can bless it with you? And then stand by the offering, please. Thank you. All right. All right. Let's bless this together. Together? Together we dedicate these gifts in service to the highest mission, recognizing and celebrating our oneness with God. We joyfully and freely participate in the law of circulation, of giving and receiving, knowing God is source, the source of all good. We are grateful. We are grateful. Thank you, God. All right. So our chaplains today, Nora and Candace, will be in the chapel for anyone that would like prayer. Debbie? Do we have, we don't have that, I can't, I'm sorry. We don't have the recording for that. So there is a prayer. I invite you to go online and to look it up. Just put James Twyman in, Prayer for Peace today, and you'll find it'll come right up for you.
All you have to do is go on, is take 15 minutes at 4 o'clock.
Is it 4 o'clock? I couldn't remember the time. Okay, so 4 o'clock, our time.
15 minutes.
Okay. Let's see, it's good news time. Anyone good news? Yeah. I'm going to stand up and speak louder.
When Debbie asked this morning, how many of you were able to attend the Mark Stanton Welsh, is that his name? Mm-hmm. I missed him last year, and last weekend I was unable to be here, but I didn't miss it. When I was driving, I turned on the wonderful ability that we have now to stream, and I had my phone sitting next to me while I was driving, and I was here. Hey!
On Monday of this last week, I went to the post office and I mailed off my papers for retirement.
Oh!
And it was really nice because the lady that was helping me, I says, these are my retirement papers. She goes, I'm going to retire in 5 months from today. And I said, me too.
Anybody else? Any other good news? We had a great board retreat yesterday. It was fabulous, and it was an all-day thing. They worked hard, and we worked hard. Yeah, it was good. So that was a good news. Anybody else? No? Okay. Let's sing our kids in. We have a kid? We have a kid today? All right. Let's sing them in. You are walking in the light, sorry, in the light, in the light. You are walking in the light of God. In the light, in the light,
In the light, in the light, in the light, in the light, in the light of
God. They're not here yet. Let's sing one more time. Here they come. You are walking in the light.
in the light, in the light. You are walking in the light of God. In the light, 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 in the light of God.
So today's lesson, this was a group effort, and the lesson was about God's creation and the beauty of universe and how things that work together like gravity and the solar system is all in divine order. So they were able to cut and color and put the planets in order and discuss how everything works together just kind of magically and automatically, and it's a beautiful thing.
Good job.
All right, let's stretch across the aisles and let's sing the peace song.